Hey y'all, it's Morgan. Welcome to my happy place. So I had a little experiment, something I want to try. As some of y'all know, I have recently gotten some African violets, and they've been, pretty thirsty little boogers. So I wanted to try doing wick watering with them. So I've repurposed a few things around the house. I didn't want to go out and purchase anything because I don't know if I want to stick with this. So I have some little casserole pans that I had gotten recently when I cooked for my son's band. And, we use them for casseroles and whatnot, but I have a lot of them. I got them at like Sam's, and yeah, so figured this would be a good way to go. They have these little lids that go on them, and I wasn't sure because it's so thin if it would be enough to support the weight of the plants, but I do think it will. And after doing a few of these, I have decided I'm not watering last, I'm watering first. So I am putting water in here. I do have a little bit of fertilizer in there. And, once a month or so, I'll flush with just plain water. You can see the kind of blue tinge here. And that is roughly a quarter of a gallon. Let me see. Or about a liter for those of you in Holland, Rose, or in the UK. So about a liter of fluids. And what I'm going to do is take this and put it on. And the reason it will support the weight is because once you crimp the edges, the tension of it causes it to be a little bit more rigid, okay? So let me get that nice and tight. And so what I'm going to do, I have just a little nail, and just because it's a little easier to keep it consistent, I'm just kind of going in this little decorative loop on these. Okay, that's it. I do need to cut a hole so that I can water through it and check the water. So yes, here comes the knife. I know, Rick, you find that amusing. And I'm just going to cut a little flap. Oh, I did that backwards because I've been just tucking a little flap. But, oh well, it'll be all right. All right, there we go. So that's it. That's the watering system. So let me show you how I get the wicks in there because I am not unpotting all of these to do it. So I've made a little hook. This is a piece of 16 gauge wire. I just took a pair of needle nose pliers, curved it, crimped it just a smidge, and that's it. I do have a little curve to this, and that's okay. I actually would prefer to have that in here. I also have some acrylic yarn. This was just some really ancient stuff that I had laying around. And you do want to use synthetic rather than cotton or something like that because cotton will rot. I put it in a little glass of water and put a drop of dish detergent in it so that it will actually absorb the water. So I have my little string, get one of my plants. Where's my little pokey hook thing? Oh, there it is. I do have crochet hooks, but I do not want to use my good hooks on this, so that's why I made this. All right, so let me see. Let me adjust this a little bit. All right, so these are a little bit more challenging than the 4-inch pots because the way the holes are, I can't just yank this up through it. The 4-inch ones have the little round holes and it goes in much more easily. So I'm just going to run that up the pot, and I'm going to make very, very sure I don't poke the underside of the leaves, and that's one reason that curve is helpful. And so when I get it up here, I'm just draping the yarn across it, and I'm just going to try to pull this up. There we go. And when I feel it, the hook starting to get towards the top, I just kind of pull that out like that, and that's it. I can just feed this down into the reservoir if I'm coordinated enough, and there you have it, wick watering. Now right now I'm only doing 4 holes in each tray, and that's fine for these while they're small. Ouch. But as they grow, as I change pots, get a larger pot, and as the leaves start getting bigger, I can just, you know, pull a couple of them off, and that way they have more room. Like I said, it's not the most efficient thing in the world, but because I don't know if this is how I want to keep watering them, I really didn't want to spend any money on it right now, and just give it a shot. So anyway, that's it. That's my little system we're going to try out. So I hope this has been helpful or has inspired y'all in some way. If y'all have any comments, please leave them below. And that's it. I hope y'all have a good night. Later.